Oh my gosh. Welcome to the first episode of Wrestle Capsule. We're going to be getting your weekly dose of pro wrestling talk, and I am your host, B-Dub. So welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about SummerSlam. Now, before I get into it and go through the things that really stood out to me with each of the matches, I just want to put this out there. I knew it was going to be good, but I was not expecting the show to be as incredible as it was. It went from 0 to 100 real quick. But then again, that's my fault for not reminding myself of the black and gold brand, RIP, rest in peace, NXT before it became Splatoon with all the freaking colors and yeah. Anyway, let's just get into it. So what we're gonna do is start off with the first match of the night, which was for the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Now, we've seen this multiple times, and at first I was like, wait, why do they have to go first? And then I was like, okay, we've seen it before, we can predict what's gonna happen. Was not expecting what happened to happen. Now, I know this totally doesn't matter. While I was watching, I was worried that Becky was gonna pull Bianca's braids so hard that it was just gonna pop off. And I remember before when I think that was Monday, where they had that crazy fight and the officials had to pull them off of each other outside the ring, and her hair, Bianca's hair, real hair was sticking out. I was like, oh gosh, are they really gonna, is that really just gonna stay there? Is that gonna come off? I was a little worried, but it didn't. But I noticed that Becky has been pulling that really hard. Now I've seen Bianca Belair be in matches where the girls automatically go for the braid. I mean, obviously it's the braid, it's big, it's out there. She's always slapping people with it, leaving marks. She did leave a mark on, I think that was Sasha Banks. No. Yeah, that was Sasha Banks, but then we really saw Becky had this huge welt on her stomach. So anyway, neither here nor there, but I just wanted to mention that because I was terrified that thing was just gonna, anyway. I was loving the counters. Like, I admit, ever since Becky came back, I wasn't as much of a fan as I was before she left for, maternity leave, because I could tell she was a bit rusty, and at first I thought that we were just gonna get another one of those, botches here and there with Becky, where she's just, the moves can sometimes be just not. But anyway, overall, I enjoyed the match, because I enjoyed it. There was really good counters, and I could feel the intensity between the two. And I loved how Bianca Belair was. There were no smiles. There was no, how she used to walk down to the ring, swinging her hair, smiling, super excited. She still does that, but she's a lot more intense, like back when she was in NXT. That drive, that hunger, I could see that in the ring, and I could appreciate that. And with Becky, she was definitely selling, really doing her work in the ring. So overall it was enjoyable for me. But the end after the match was really when it went to a whole nother level. So in the end, Bianca Belair wins, which I'm happy about, because I did not want to see another SummerSlam. I just would not be able to handle that. The 26 seconds crap, that was a mess, with Becky winning with a freaking, I'm gonna call it a bookend, okay? It's a freaking bookend. They're calling it manhandle slam. No, it's a bookend, okay? Stop. So she tried to do that to her and it just didn't work. And when Bianca won, I was just like, okay, she retains the Rollins Championship. I'm happy. And I honestly thought that Becky, when she put her hand out, because we've seen this before where Becky, after the match she loses, she puts her hand out. I was expecting her to, you know, do the boom, you know, hit her with a 1, 2, 3. But it was sincere. It was sincere. And they actually hugged, and I was just like, okay, all right, there's some respect. All right, she's not being a sore loser. That's good. I respect that. But then, you hear the music. You hear Bayley's music. And the crowd just, the pop, everyone just went off. Me included. I was like, no. Because I tried to stay away from social media. I didn't want anything to spoil it, because you know, with social media, people be putting up posts and, oh, Becky, Bayley's gonna be coming back. We think Bayley's gonna be coming back. This, that, and the third. I'm like, I didn't wanna look at anything on Instagram and Twitter. I didn't even want to look at the WWE news of anyone on YouTube, anything like that, any predictions. I didn't want any of that. I just wanted to go in, fresh eyes, and just enjoy the show. And when she came out, I lost my marbles. All the marbles on the floor. I was so freaking excited. I was like, girl, she looks so good. Her hair is like dyed. She's wearing all white. She looks fire, like straight fire. She's walking down. She's being her awesome heel self. And then someone else comes out. None other than freaking Dakota Kai, King Coda. That threw me for a loop because she was released. Thanks, Vince. Anyway, she was released and she was a free agent. She was unsigned. She wasn't with anyone. And then she comes out. I was going off with that too. And I guess they're in cahoots. Bayley and Dakota are in cahoots. But then another person comes out. Who? Io Shirai. Now she is on the main roster. And all three of them, I'm assuming they're gonna be a group. I'm excited to know what the name's gonna be, how that storyline is gonna go, because they were finna, yes, I'm using the word finna, they were finna come for Bianca Belair in that ring, because, you know, Bianca's feeling it, she's excited, she's happy that Becky wasn't up to her normal schemes to go to try to, you know, book in her at the very last minute when she's trying to play games, thinking everything's cool. So they're coming towards the ring about to, you know, throw hands. And Becky comes in the ring to be back up for Bianca. So then the three get in the ring, and then Becky and Bianca in the ring. And I'm like, wait, are they gonna fight? What are they gonna do? Is this gonna be a brawl? What? No. Bayley's like, no, we're gonna save this. We're gonna save this. Which, I love that. I love that. That just takes the anticipation for what is gonna happen next this coming week to a whole nother level. Like, I'm excited what they're gonna do with it, and that was a really good start off to SummerSlam this year. Like, I wasn't expecting, like I said before, I was expecting it to be good because, you know, it's Triple H. But how good and how fast and how just like boom, boom, boom. I was not, she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. Okay, so for the next match, it was Logan Paul versus The Miz. And of course, The Miz came out with his wife, Maurice, and with Tommaso Ciampa. And I was like, oh gosh, I could automatically, I knew there was gonna be some sort of interference. I just felt it on the inside. And then, of course, Logan Paul comes out, and I feel like the audience wasn't sure if they wanted to cheer him or boo him, especially when they started the match. And that match was enjoyable too. I was like, what the frick is going on here? Because, okay, I'll admit, I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan. into it because it doesn't matter, because wrestling is wrestling, you know. But I was pleasantly surprised on how good Logan Paul was. Like, his frog leap, he is so dang limber. Granted, I know that he was doing boxing and all that stuff like that, but wrestling is a whole nother beast. Like, I know there is a few fundamentals that you'll carry from one sport to the next, but this dude, his frog, he was doing splits in the air, he was doing the frog leap and then the moonsault, and I was like, okay, I'm starting, like, I'm feeling this, I'm starting to like this. And then The Miz, like, I feel like The Miz back in like 2011, like 2010, 2011, the heel Miz that we all know and love was coming back in that ring. Like, he had new attire, like new gear and everything like that. And the intensity, like, I could tell the two of them they couldn't stand each other. And I love when beefs, on-screen beefs obviously, can translate in a match. Like, it just intensifies your anticipation of who's going to win. It keeps you not bored throughout the match. So it was good. Like, The Miz was bringing his A game. I feel like he was like reborn, renewed, restored. And then Logan Paul was just like, I'm here to finna win. It was good. I haven't seen The Miz like that in a long time. Like, we always see him during pay-per-views putting over a celebrity who's come to WWE, and I've just been over that, and I thought that's what we were going to get last night, and it wasn't. And I was just like, okay, even though he did win, of course, and of course I was expecting The Miz to win. There was minimal to no interference, especially when AJ Styles came out to just sneak up on Tommaso Ciampa and just attack him. He was definitely, I would definitely consider him the equalizer, which is good because we always have those interferences, and sometimes they're really good, but other times they're just so predictable. So the fact that that's how it went was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I feel like I'm gonna say I enjoyed it, or it was good, or I'm impressed throughout this entire video, so get ready. So after that match, then there's the match for the United States Championship between Theory. I'm still, like, I had to make myself say Theory because I want to call him Austin Theory because that's the name they came in with. And then, you know, every time they go from NXT to WWE, Vince will always want to change people's names, like Shotzi Blackheart, now she's just Shotzi, and you have Austin Theory, now she's just Theory, and then you got freaking Raquel, was it Gonzalez, and now it's Rodriguez. Like, I just wish he would just keep people's names. It just makes it easier for me. But anyway, you might hear me call him Austin Theory. You know who I'm talking about, it's Theory. So Theory versus Bobby Lashley. So I didn't know what to expect for this match. All I knew was that Bobby Lashley was going to be manhandling Theory throughout the entire thing. And I was okay with it because honestly, I wanted Bobby Lashley to retain the United States Championship. And he did. And of course, I mean, Theory, regardless of what you think about him, he's a really good heel. Like, he really makes you want to hate him. He's very good at it, and he's solid in the ring, whether you like him or not. So, not surprising to me that Bobby Lashley won that 1, 2, 3. So, hey, there we go. Now, I wasn't as invested in this match as the other matches that we just went over, but it was still, there we go, it was still a good match. It was still a solid match. And I might add, the match did not last very long. I don't know how many minutes it lasted, but it was the shortest match in the entire SummerSlam show. So that was something to laugh at. On to the next match. And it's a no disqualification match. So this was going to be a tag team match between the Judgment Day, more specifically Finn Balor and Damien Priest versus the Mysterios, Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio. I don't want to sound like a sour apple, but I'm not a huge fan of Dominik, and I'll give a little bit of reasoning why, but not too much, because I mean, who knows how long this video is gonna end up being. Hey, it is what it is. I can see that he's improving, definitely. He's really good at selling. He's really good at selling. It's just his moves, his moves are just, his offense is just, it's a little rough. It's a little rough. And it sucks even more when you're in the ring with freaking Finn Balor and Damien Priest. And your father is Rey Mysterio, and he's a flipping veteran, and he's so seasoned. And then you have Dominik. But I just feel like he's just going through the motions. Maybe I feel like he needs to get roughened up a little more. And indeed he did. When I saw Rey Mysterio get the chair out, get that metal chair, I was like, yes. Oh my gosh, that was so good. And then he took the chair and he slid out of the ring. It hit Finn Balor. I was going off. I was just like, you still got it. Oh, that was. But that is actually not the icing on the cake. That is actually not the part of the match that made me just lose my sugar honey iced tea. It was after the match. Now, I don't know if I don't remember even saying this, but Rhea Ripley did come out. So the whole Judgment Day came out together. So technically, even though Rhea wasn't supposed to be in the match, she inserted herself, you know, being Rhea Ripley. I love her. But yeah, she started interfering with the match. And she started roughing up Dominik on ringside. I was laughing. I was like, I'm so glad she's back. And then you hear music. Another surprise. What is this surprise? Freaking Edge. I was happy to see Edge back. And he looked ready to bust a cap, like for real. So he came down, and then I just knew when he came out, he was definitely going to get some payback for the Judgment Day turning their back on him and attacking him. So it just made sense, and that's one thing I want to mention about this show. SummerSlam, this SummerSlam, beef made sense. Surprise appearances made sense. Even the one with Bayley, because I mean, she's been out for how long? Almost a year? I don't remember, but she's been out for quite some time. And I know that before she left, her and Bianca Belair were already having beef. They kept wrestling and wrestling, fighting and fighting, and Bianca kept winning. So her coming out after her win made sense. And then here with Edge, him coming out to be backup for the Mysterios made sense because of his beef with Judgment Day. So overall, I was just loving the continuity. I was loving the storyline, and I was loving how everything was just so cohesive. It made sense. Who'd have thunk storylines in WWE would make sense again? There's no denying that Edge still has it. No denying whatsoever. So that was enjoyable to see. Next match, the beef. The hilarious beef, I might add, between Happy Corbin. I just want to call him Baron Corbin so bad. Happy Corbin and Pat McAfee. I was looking forward to this. I'll admit it right now. I was looking forward to this match because leading up to it on Smackdown, oh my gosh, bald ass Corbin. That made me crack up. I love how much spice and how much like swag Pat has, and like he has no problem expressing himself. He's good on the mic, and he's actually good in the ring for someone. Granted, again, he's an athlete just like Logan Paul. Logan Paul and Pat McAfee, they're athletes. Logan Paul coming from, you know, training and boxing and stuff like that, and then Pat McAfee coming from being a football player, and then actually Corbin being a football player. I didn't even know that in the past. he did so good. Just like in last WrestleMania when he had a fight Theory, that was good. That was really good, and I was enjoying it because, like I said before, like the intensity, the beef being translated in the ring, in the match. You can tell that both of them in the character, they can't stand each other. They both hate each other. They both want to just, and it was so good. I was glued to the TV because I really wanted to know who would win. I had a feeling that it would be Pat McAfee, but it was still enjoyable because you guys let me know in the comments below, like when you're watching a match and you already know without a shadow of a doubt who's going to win, you become less likely to be invested in the match because you're just like, I already know he's gonna win, or I already know she's gonna win. Like, why am I still watching this? Like, even if there's a slight chance, like, it's like if you already know that it's gonna happen, it's like, but even with that, I knew Pat was gonna win, and he did win, but it was still good. And I almost forgot. It was like, even with this gimmick, I've never been a real fan of the Happy Corbin gimmick. I miss when the dude had, I think he like used to have his hair, he used to have long hair. I miss that. I miss that Baron Corbin. Even when he was King Corbin, I was cool with that too. Or even when freaking Baron Corbin was what was he? Was he the I don't think he was the what the freak was he? He wasn't general manager. He was the council. I forgot, but he was so kissing up to Stephanie McMahon. And you guys remind me in the comments what I forgot what the freak he was, but I remember he was a WWE official, and he made himself a WWE official. He took that to a whole nother level because I could not stand him, but it was so good to watch because it was believable, and he's such a good heel. So that's why it was so enjoyable. You have a really good heel and you have a really good face, but this face is so like, I don't even know what the word is. Like, he has so much spice. He's really, he's not a punk. He's a face, but he's not a punk. I love when babyface wrestlers still have that intensity and still able to deliver on the mic and deliver in the ring and not look like pushovers or punks. So that match was good too. So the next match was the Tag Team Championships. Yes. Emphasis on championships because of the Usos holding both the Smackdown and the Raw Tag Team Championships hostage, which I don't know about you guys, but I have not been a fan of. Are the Usos a really great tag team? No doubt. They've been there for a long time. I get it. They're good. They're cream of the crop. But I want to see some new blood in there. You know what I'm saying? And I know that the Street Profits have been champions before. But call me biased, but I wanted to see them win. Did they win? No. But what I will say is, leave it to Montez Ford to bring that edge and just take a match to the next level. He was on 10. And then he was just getting into it with the guest referee, Jeff Jarrett. Yes, shout out to Jeff Jarrett, veteran. But yeah, like I was seeing a side of him that Montez, that I hadn't seen before. It was getting very like intense and hostile, and he was really invested. And I didn't know, like, I wanted the Street Profits to win, but I wasn't sure if they were going to win. And the reason why is because the Usos have had those championships for so long, and a part of me already assumed that Roman was going to keep his belts. So because of that, I was like, of course the bloodline's gonna stay gold up, you know. So I wasn't sure, but I was hoping it would be the Street Profits, but you know. And Angelo Dawkins, even though he is a big guy, this guy can move. Like he definitely keeps up with his opponents and with Montez Ford. They're one of my favorite tag teams, actual tag teams. Very nice to see, you know, a tag team championship match between an actual tag team and an actual tag team instead of just smacking two single competitors together. I'll be doing a video about that in the coming episode, so stay tuned for that. This match reminded me of why I love tag team wrestling. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I love single competitor matches. Who doesn't? But there's just something about seeing a tag team that's an actual tag team. They train together, they're together, they are a unit, they are a brand, they're together, and seeing them just feed off of each other and seeing the cohesiveness and seeing how they finish each other's moves. They're an extension of one another, and I love that. And I saw that. I always see that with the Usos, and I always see that with the Street Profits. So I love that. I'm a sucker for a good tag team match, and I wish that we had more tag teams. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing a video about it, so stay tuned for that, because it's probably gonna turn into a rant. It is what it is. I have my views. I have stuff to back it up. Just stay tuned for that. But yeah, the Usos won. Surprise, surprise. But it was still a solid match nonetheless. Randomly, Matt Riddle comes out. And I'm thoroughly confused. I mean, I'm happy to see him. I'm thoroughly confused because last time I checked, he was out. He wasn't medically cleared to compete and have his match with Seth Rollins. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, is he gonna just talk to us? Is Seth gonna come? Like, what is going on? And one thing I know is that if it was Vince, that when it happened, either he would have just competed and would have got injured even more, just like Cody Rhodes, or it would have just been that. But the fact that Matt Riddle came out, and then Seth Rollins calls him out, and then Seth Rollins comes out, and then they're about to get in a rumble. They have a little tussle, you know, stakes are high, they're super like intense, and then the WWE officials are trying to pull them off. I love that at least we got that, even though the match was taken off the card because of Riddle's injury and not being medically cleared to compete. They still gave us a little something to look forward to. So we already knew that the match was going to be postponed, but now we're really looking forward to it to see how the storyline goes after that once Matt is better. So I love that. That was good. That I was not expecting that at all. And I feel like the whole theme of SummerSlam this year was expect the unexpected, and then when you expect it, you will get something like totally different, and it's going to be great. So that was really cool. It is the match that we knew it was happening, but I'm going to speak for everyone when I say we were not expecting the outcome of that match to be what it was in the way that it was. Let me explain. So now the match for the Smackdown Women's Championship between Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan. My thoughts about it was that I thought that Liv Morgan was gonna retain the title. That's what I was thinking, but how it happened, I like it for storyline purposes, because it's creative, but I do not like it in the way that it portrays Liv Morgan in such a like, oh, that's the only way I'm gonna win, especially against Ronda Rousey. Like that was, I didn't like that. And now like it makes me like, that kind of taints Liv Morgan's character for me in a way. But anyway, so the match happens. I'm just gonna skip, not saying that the match wasn't good, because it was good. I mean, although Ronda Rousey was literally manhandling Liv Morgan the entire match, I was seeing a lot of improvement in Liv Morgan's moves and her execution. I know that when she got the title, I was like, okay, she better bring it, one thing, and two, she needs to start acting like a champion. Because I remember before, the way she would hold the championship belt, like it was like, oh, she was still in the phase of, oh my goodness, I won a championship, the Smackdown Women's Championship, like still in awe. And that's all great and dandy, but let's have that moment and move forward. And it's time to defend. It's time to embody that character of a champion. And I was saying the same thing about Bianca Belair when she first got the Raw Women's Championship. But she's evolved since then, and it's a lot better than it was originally. And I think a part of that, I'll talk about that in another video. That's so many ideas and so many awesome videos going to be coming to you guys about different aspects of what's going on, what was going on in WWE, and what I'm looking forward to in the future for WWE. But yeah, let me just stop rambling and get to the point. Ronda Rousey is doing that, attacking Liv's, I think it was her left arm, and I think she was doing like an arm bar, and they're on the mat. And in the way that Liv's arm was and how Ronda was, she was pinned. At first one of her shoulders wasn't on the mat, but then both of them was, and then the referee was 1, 2, and by like 2.5, I see freaking Liv tapping Ronda, and this is before 3, so it was like 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. She's patting, like tapping out. Ref doesn't see that. He's focused on pin, and he's focused on the 1, 2, 3. And it's like ding, ding, ding. Bell rung. Liv retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm like, WTF. Because that win, I wouldn't even consider it a win. I wouldn't be something I'm like, yay, I won, I retained my title. Like that's like a woof type of thing. And I know Ronda was pissed, went after the referee, because she was pissed off because that call should have been challenged. I don't like it. Like I said before a little bit ago, I like it for storyline purposes because I like creativity. I like that the mind juices are flowing in the creative department, and that is one interesting way to retain a title. But like I said, this does not look good for Liv Morgan character-wise, unless she's going to be turning heel. Now, if Liv Morgan turns heel, which I wouldn't see why she would turn heel, like I don't see like a pivotal point where it would make sense for her to leave babyface and go heel. But if they did, I would see why. That would make sense. That win would make a lot more sense. So I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about that finish. Should that call be revoked? Does that even count? Like, what do you guys think? Just let me know in the comment section below, because I want to know. I want to know. So yeah, that was a part in the show where I was just like what? But anyway, Liv Morgan retained the SmackDown Women's Championship. She looked relieved, and then she was on ringside on the ground in relief, and I'm just like, anyway, now we are down to the finale of SummerSlam 2022. I might say I thought the first, okay, The beginning of the show was bombas free. The ending of the show was bombas free. I was not expecting, like I said, expect the unexpected, and then when you expect it, you will get something else. That championship match, the undisputed WWE Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, was by far the best I have ever seen Roman Reigns wrestle. And I'm probably gonna get some comments of the people who are just like, I love the tribal chief, he's the best, blah blah blah, acknowledge me, team acknowledge me. I'm gonna have a series on Roman Reigns coming soon. My take on it, what went wrong, what they could have did better, and what is some of the things that Roman did that was good. And it's mostly towards this time that I believe Roman Reigns was finally getting into championship. Like, I could believe what he was saying at this point. I could believe his actions. I could believe that yes, he is indeed the tribal chief. He is the head of the bloodline, head of the table. We're in his yard now, all that, all the tagline, all the stuff for Roman Reigns. Like, I was actually starting to believe it. In this match, I feel like he did a really good job compared to the other matches. All the other matches at times were a bit cringy to me. Personal opinion, it is what it is. But let me just get into it. So, Roman comes out. Of course, the whole bloodline, you know, you got the Usos, and you got special counsel, Paul Heyman. I'm a Paul Heyman girl. I legit need to get a shirt that says, I'm a Paul Heyman girl. Legit. I feel like he is a pivotal point, a pivotal person who made Roman Reigns' career and made him the champion that he is now, especially after SummerSlam. I would not be saying this if this match did not happen the way that it did. And it's so crazy because going into this, watching this, initially knowing that this match was going to happen, I was over it. We have seen Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar wrestle how many times, especially at pay-per-view shows, like so many times, to the point where you're just like, I don't care anymore. I don't care who the heck wins. Like, I don't care. And that's where I was at. So coming out of it, I was just like, okay, I don't want to see it again, but this is fantastic. It's an amazing spin on a match that you've seen 1,000 times, but you've never seen it like this. Roman comes out, then Brock comes out. And as he's coming out, he goes over to the tractor, gets in the tractor, and rides down the rest of the way to the ring in this big old red tractor. I'm just like, oh, we use tractors now. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm interested. Oh, and I forgot to say, this is the last man standing match. I was expecting, well, after the whole tractor thing, I had a feeling that Brock was going to just destroy Roman. But then I was like, you got the bloodline, you got the Usos. They're always coming in to save Roman Reigns. They're always there to, I hate it. If he didn't have the Usos, if he did not have his backup, his security guards, I do not think Roman would have won. And spoiler alert, Roman Reigns retains the titles. But what made this match so dope is in the middle of the match, while Roman was still in the ring, Brock gets out of the ring, goes back to that same red tractor, gets on the after, picks up a whole half of the ring, and freaking Roman Reigns slides out the other side to the ground. Oh my gosh, is Roman gonna get hurt? How high is Brock Lesnar going to make this ring? Like destroying a ring like that. Like, I've never. Brock made this match awesome. Yeah. Roman Reigns wasn't ready. He was not ready. Oh my gosh. And then of course, Brock is getting the best of Roman, and the Usos intervene as per usual. But then Brock is getting it in, and he just starts. I vividly remember Brock taking on both of the Usos and just getting them to the ground, throwing them to the ground, and then Paul Heyman's like, no, stop. Here, take the title. He literally puts the titles on Brock, just like, take it, you're done. And then Brock F5's Paul. I was just like, it's just action-packed. Like, there was no dull moment in that championship match. And it's not over, because then you hear Austin Theory's entrance music, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is this man literally about to cash in right now? The match is not even done yet, and he comes down with his Money in the Bank briefcase, and I'm floored. But he don't even get a chance to cash it in and get it done, because Brock's like, nope. I also remember when Roman somehow gets the Money in the Bank briefcase and starts battering Austin Theory, and then starts beating the crap out of Brock Lesnar with the briefcase. I'm just like, come on, aggression. Yes, come on, attitude. Like this, I feel like this match took Roman to the next level in terms of his ring work, because it was like a survival. He just got kicked in survival mode at that point. He's just like, I got two people after me right now. I got Austin Theory trying to cash in, and then I got Brock Lesnar. Like, it's not going down like this. But then, in bloodline fashion, the Usos are helping. Theory's down. Like, you don't see Theory again. He's on the ground. He's done. Like, he's done. No one's worried about him. He didn't cash it in. At least he got to keep the Money in the Bank briefcase. I was thinking that if he cashed it in tonight, he was gonna lose, and that was just gonna be a waste of a briefcase. But at least he got to keep that, which is pretty dope. But in the end, the Usos intervening, and Roman is just getting the best of Brock, and then the Usos getting the best of Brock, because it's 3-on-1. Eventually, Brock's on the ground, and then they start taking props, like parts of the announcement table and different props, and just putting it on top of Brock, to the point where it's just, they don't even finish counting. The referee's like, we're done. They don't even get to 10. The bell rings, and of course, Roman Reigns retains the undisputed WWE Championship. And that's one heck of a way to do it. Even though, of course, I didn't want Roman Reigns to win, because I had my own views on Roman Reigns as a whole. He did a great job, and that was a great way to end that match. That was definitely the icing on the cake, the finale. I have never seen a SummerSlam like that, and I've actually watched a lot of the SummerSlams before. That was the best one, and I was even talking to my best friend, like, even he was just like, and he is a pro wrestling, like, he knows WWE like the back of his hand. Like, he's been watching it since he was a little kid, and for him, he knows everything from, like, for him to say that was the best SummerSlam that he's ever watched is a huge statement. And I agree. Like, overall, that was a definite like statement. Triple H, I feel like Triple H needed to make that statement coming in, because I'm pretty sure there's people within the like WWE employees that might feel a certain type of way about Stephanie McMahon being in, and Shane, and is Shane even in Triple H? But that was definitely a statement that he made, and I feel like he made a great one. And definitely put his best foot forward. Like from SmackDown on Friday, it was his first like official, like in the new regime, their writing and everything like that, to SummerSlam. Like, if this is how it's gonna go, oh, best believe I'm gonna be watching Raw, NXT, SmackDown, all the pay-per-views. Oh, I'm looking forward to the pay-per-views, like totally. So guys, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about SummerSlam this year. Let me know about all this stuff, everything that I talked about, from the different matches, my personal opinions about certain things. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this first episode. There will definitely be more to come. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Wrestle Capsule. I am signing off. See you guys.